the ships that sail the seas in navies old and new. Greater are none beneath the sea than submarines so true. Sing, iron, steam, and brine, good sirs, with friends we form a line. Surely we sing of no little thing than iron and steam and brine.
Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome to the Video Gamers Podcast. How do you stand out in a crowded genre? What trick or innovation do you need to have to stand apart from every other game? It's a riddle devs have been trying to solve for ages. Today, we're deep diving the recent release of Abyssus, a brine punk co-op rogue-like shooter that looks like BioShock and Doom had a love child? Or Hellspawn? Does it solve the riddle and stand apart, or is this just another roguelike shooter? Well, we're about to find out, but first, some introductions are in order. I am your host, Josh, and joining me, you'll find him belting out sea shanties as we yell at him to ready up. It's Ryan.
By far, in a way, the best part of this game is the sea shanties.
Oh,
it's amazing, absolutely amazing.
We're gonna talk about it. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
I love it.
And joining us, he may have gotten swept up in the currents because he said he'll go to any depth to talk about Abyssus. It's Ace.
Hey, just call me the master of the abyss, baby, because I will go absolutely to any depth to talk about this game. Heck, I got it upgraded to a main episode.
You did get it, Ace. We don't want to say how Ace, managed to convince this to not be the indie episode, but be the main episode here.
That's not a family-friendly topic.
Could be something to do with him like 100%ing this game already too. So. And Ryan and I are not above bribery, so
this is true.
Let's be honest. So, all right, well, welcome in, everybody. Look, people are like, Abyssus? What? I've never even heard of this game before. What? Well, you're about to hear about it.
Problem.
Yeah, Ace says that's a problem. We're going to see if it's a problem or not, because the three of us have been playing this game together for a bit. We actually have gotten the chance to play with some community members as well. Jigglepuff, one of them, who got to join us on a pretty insane run, Ace. But we're going to get to all that here in just a little bit. But we've got some people to thank. Guys, I love that this is becoming like a consistent thing, because it just goes to show you that when we talk about stuff, that people actually do listen to us a little bit of the time, sometimes maybe. But we've been saying, hey, we need your support to keep this podcast going. We do these episodes because we absolutely love gaming, but there is a lot of work. There is a lot of money that goes into various aspects of that. And honestly, as much as we love this, we wouldn't be able to continue to do this after 5 years that we've been doing this if it wasn't for the support of the listeners. And so for those that do take the moment to support the show, there's a link in the episode description. It takes about 2 minutes to sign up over on Patreon. But one of the things we love doing is just saying thank you. So we've got a few people to thank today, starting off with Bobby S., who signed up for Epic.
Oh, yeah.
Epic.
Ooh, Bobby got in on the Hijack a Host vote for September, just in time, which was really cool. So that was neat to have Bobby get a say in that vote for a game that Ryan has to play.
Yeah, we'll see how much I like that.
Yeah, well, that episode's coming up. But you know what? Supporters of the show get to see those episodes too. So if you want to see some behind the scenes stuff, the banter and the talk that we have before the actual podcast recording starts and afterwards, supporters of the show get a lot of perks on top of a very big thank you and shout out on the show. And then we have two more, both awesome members of the community as well. Milk Dud signed up for rare status. Milk Dud's been hanging out in our streams, been hanging out in the Discord with people. So Milk Dud, thank you.
Thank you.
And then they didn't say please don't talk about me, so we can do that. But their username is please don't look at me, who signed up for rare status as well. So look, a deal's a deal. We will not look at you, but we are going to thank you for your support. So.
We are. And I what is it? What was it? SEK? Was the denomination?
Isn't it a krona?
It's like
that's a Swedish krona.
I saw it come through on our email, and I'm like, wait, what is this denomination? I'm like, dude, what is this? I'm like, I don't know.
This is the beauty is you guys get to like give Ryan some culture. He had to look up another currency.
I did. I was like, what's the conversion rate? What are we dealing with here?
he's like, what are we talking here? Like, can I buy a new 3D printer? Can I buy a game? Like, what's going on here?
Exactly.
So, thank you, Bobby S., Milk Dud, and Please Don't Look at Me, and all of our other supporters of this show for making this all possible. And then, guys, real quick, we need to do this because we haven't done it in a little while, but we've got another review to read.
Ooh.
Ryan, coming back from his time in the woods, he was like, I got this, boys. So, Ryan, what do you got for us?
Well, we have an amazing review from what I'm gonna read as Sleepy41, with a lot of other numbers and letters and whatever crazy signs you want to read, but it is titled A Gem. It is a 5-star review that reads, "This is a podcast that I didn't know I needed. In a world that feels so serious and bleak, sometimes people need a respite of kicking back and having fun."
Nice.
I was wondering how you were going to handle the word respite, and respite is respite's close enough, Ryan.
Yeah, you were close.
Yeah, that works. But also, that's a great review.
Yeah, that was a great review. Thank you.
Thank you, Sleepy.
That was a fitting voice.
Word, something lead talk.
It's respite, isn't it?
It's respite, but
Need a respite.
well, you really butchered both of them now. That's neither one.
Respite.
Well, darn tootin', I need me a respite.
Darn, I've been out in the woods for a while. I'll tell you what.
Your trip to the woods was your respite from the busy life, Ryan.
And the deer's respite too, since you didn't get any.
Yeah, that's true. That you gave the deer.
Okay, here's the deal. You guys aren't getting anything when I get it, though. I'll tell you that much right now.
So we can talk all the trash we want because we ain't getting nothing.
Exactly.
Wait and see. Wait and
We
see,
were
brothers.
promised venison. I wanted jerky, man. Come on.
Just
We were
wait and
counting
see.
on you, Ryan.
Don't worry. I got 2 more trips planned this year, so you're gonna get nothing.
Well, that's to be expected, Ryan, if they go like your last 2 trips went. So
I'm still stuck on this respite thing, you know.
it's like Ryan's he didn't even respond. I'm like, is he Googling this?
No, I'm just looking.
Go ahead, just Google the
No,
pronunciation.
I don't want to.
You know?
I've already put myself out there too much right now.
Oh man. All right. We got to talk about some Abyssus, guys. Oh my goodness. These are how look, if this is your first time joining us, this is how every one of these episodes
Sorry,
goes.
we apologize for nothing.
Yeah, we apologize for nothing. This is friends talking games. This is what gamers do, and this is why we love it so much. So all right. Ace, I'm gonna blame you on this one or give you credit.
Yeah, all right.
That remains to be seen.
Oh.
But you went, hey guys, look at this game. And we said, okay. And there's this game called Abyssus. And I will say the graphics on this game right away looked pretty good. And from the very beginning, you were pushing very hard for us to cover this. So what is it about Abyssus that just drew your attention? And not only drew your attention, but then you were like, Josh, Ryan, you guys got to play this game with me, and I want to cover it for our first indie deep dive.
Yeah. So, first indie deep dive. Yeah, we've had a lot of first indie deep dives.
Is this what other deep dives did we do for the indie podcast?
I'm almost certain we've done other indie deep dives.
Wasn't this our first indie deep dive?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I don't know. Right?
He's calling you up, but you don't know.
We're calling things respite.
I guess it's your first. It would be your first, I guess, with all 3 of us. But yeah. What was I gonna say?
If this is your first time, nothing will change.
Nothing will change.
Yeah,
we are always like this.
We play a lot of games, so trying to remember what all we have played is.
I would say you just sent me down like memory lane
Ace is
there.
Getting old, man. The memory's not as good as it used to be. So, you know?
Just when I think I escape it, but I found Abyssus for an indie like news episode that you weren't on, and I think the first thing I said to Ryan was like, "We got to show Josh this. He's gonna be so into it because this is like." Yeah. A remnant BioShock roguelike almost. Ooh. When I first saw it, I was like, he's going to love this. And I loved the setting. I loved the graphics. And I hadn't played the demo yet, but just looking at gameplay alone, it looked fast and snappy and really fun and chaotic. And I was not wrong.
So I have to ask you, Ace, because I hinted to this in the intro of the show. I mean, roguelike shooter, they seem like they're a dime a dozen, dude. Like, honestly, it's a crowded space. You know, more recently, like Void Breakers, we've talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
That is a single player roguelike shooter, but, you know, this is a genre that is starting to get fairly saturated. So what is it about Abyssus that drew your eye more than like some other games in this genre?
It looked like it just had soul. Like it doesn't have necessarily a straightforward story, but it looked like it had something it was trying to show and tell you. And based off the environments and the characters and the heart they put into the shanties and the dancing and the goofy fun stuff. Plus it was co-op, which already piqued my interest. I almost said the wrong word. Piqued my interest because there's not a lot of roguelike co-ops that are also first-person shooters. And we can think of a lot of roguelikes where like, okay, this is like the pinnacle of a roguelike. But I can't think of one that's like the pinnacle of a first-person roguelike.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, we tout Risk of Rain 2 a lot for roguelikes.
Yep.
Hades, you know, if you want to get into the card-based, you know,
those are all third person,
Slay the
though.
Spire and stuff. Yeah, but I'm trying to think. I think the only, and it's an old game that probably nobody has heard of, but I do remember my very first foray into this genre was a game called Ziggurat. Now, this is
I've heard of
Ryan's
this
laughing
game.
because this ain't from like the 90s, Ryan, okay? But it was a game called Ziggurat that was my first ever first-person roguelike shooter. And I quite enjoyed that game. So all right. Well, you know, Ace pushes and he says, let's play this game. You don't have to twist my arm. I know you don't have to twist Ryan's arm to do a co-op shooter. So we both jump in.
We jumped in the demo first.
We did. Oh, that's right. We did play the demo. Yep. That's right. Cause they had a demo out and
You
we
needed
jumped
some
in
convincing.
and I kind of went, okay, like there's something to this game, man.
Yeah.
Like it controls well. The graphics look good. Like this seems polished. Okay, like let's do it. So we buy the game when it releases and we say, hey, let's jump in. So we jump in, we start playing that night. Ryan, I want to go to you because this was right before you left for your 5-day trip to the woods with no animals. And so like so
Dude, when was the last time you've hunted, dude? You know
that was
how
a long
hard
time
this
ago.
is?
You know why?
how hard
Because
it is?
when I was not good at it, I gave up and I just said I'm not good at this, man. So I mean, we all played that night. You
Yes.
know, what was your initial impression, Ryan, of this game? So we jump in, we're playing. I think we played for a few hours too.
We
if
did.
I remember right.
Yeah, we had a long session. My initial impressions were I thought it was smooth, it was crisp. The gameplay was good. It didn't feel super new, but it didn't feel super old. You know, if you understand what I'm saying. Like it wasn't like some advanced mechanics or anything crazy, but it still felt like a good quality first-person shooter that that had the mechanics you would want. Like it was the environment was nice, and I was bummed, like, because I was about to head out of town and I knew you punks were gonna play it all week while I was gone, you know, and and you did, and so yeah, I was initially right away like this is I'm vibing with it. It's very much I have a feeling and emotional like connection to this game already. Just hopping in initially, like right off the bat.
I remember you very clearly saying like, guys, I really want to play more. And then you knew that you couldn't because you were leaving. And so you were like, dang it. Like, I really want to play some more.
Yeah.
And
Your fate was already sealed.
I think we played like 5 hours that night.
I think
Dude, we played a
is that the
lot.
night we streamed it?
Yeah,
too?
we streamed it.
Yes.
And it was
Okay,
like, I look and
thought
it was
so.
like 5.5 hours or something
Yeah,
crazy.
it was a pretty good session. We got a pretty good taste of the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in and say that my initial impression of this game was very mid, right? Like it's a fine game. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this game, but there wasn't anything that was really like catching my attention either. Like it's kind of like, okay, I feel like I've done this before. You know, yes, it runs well and it's pretty. And, you know, I think honestly, the pinnacle moment for me in the first few hours of this game were when we realized that if you emote together and your characters start singing a very well done sea shanty, and then we realize that we can dance while we're singing the sea shanty, and your characters start to harmonize so they completely like planned for this development. And it was just like, bro, this is so cool. Like, I
Yeah.
love these little development touches. The fact that somebody took the time to make this sync up and harmonize and all that really shows a level of passion for the development of this game. But for me, in the beginning, it was very like, there's a boss fight that you get to fairly early, and we died to that boss, I don't know, 5 times or whatever. And I was kind of like, guys, there's just not enough here, man. Like, I get it. It's fine, but there's like, what's so magical about this? And then Ryan left. Ace and I played the next day, and we beat the first boss.
Yep.
And Ace, you equated this to a game recently that we covered, which
This was like Night Rain. This is exactly like our experience with Night Rain. You had to beat the first boss to see what the game actually opened up into. It was basically a skill check to see if you were worthy of playing the rest of the game.
Hey, can you handle this? Can you handle this?
Exactly. You got 2 hours to refund the game if you can't make it past this game.
We couldn't handle it in the beginning, though. And
couldn't.
we're pretty good gamers, but this first boss was kicking our butt, man. And we were like, and I'm like, I don't know. I think I remember telling you, Ace, like, I don't know if there's enough variety in this. Like, I don't know what the hook for this game is. It's fine, but I don't know. Like, that was literally what I told you, is like, I don't know, man.
I was bummed,
And
man,
then-
because I was understanding what you were saying. I was like, yeah.
And then we beat that boss, dude. And when you beat that boss, you get some loot, you get some soul fragments, you get a new weapon, you get a new alternate ability as you're playing. And dude, it was like the clouds parted, the sun started shining down upon me. And then after that, I was like, wait a minute. There's a lot going on here. I've got abilities. I've got weapons with different fire modes. We're starting to get what they call blessings, which are these like upgrades that you get as you play the game. These blessings are starting to stack and combo with each other. And dude, I'm just going to say it. I don't know that I have ever gone from finding a game, like a mid-game, to completely turning around and being like, dude,
It was a switch.
what? Yeah, it flipped the switch, man. And I went, this game just turned into something completely different than what I had experienced for the first few hours. And now it's like, it's like I came out of the cave and there's just this beautiful valley in front of me. And I'm just like, the birds are singing, the sun is shining.
Yep. It flipped it so much that we were even talking about, like, we always brainstorm like show ideas and things. We started talking about like games that you were unsure about or didn't like. That it changed on you, and then you're like, "Oh my god, I love this!" And so that that's how much it flipped for you guys. And I missed kind of the chunk of it, but I got plenty of time in, and it's the same for me. Like, it was cool.
You got it when you got back.
Oh, when I got back, dude. Yeah, no, I was playing with Ace and Jiggle, and then I played a couple with you, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Gold, baby. Gold.
Oh, gold.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to kind of talk a little bit more about some of the aspects of this game for people that don't know what Abyssus is or haven't seen the trailers or anything on it either, because there's a lot here that really makes this game enjoyable. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. All right, we're back. We're talking Abyssus. Look, I spilled the beans a little bit. This game started off very mid for me, and boy, did it turn things around. I'm not going to hide it. I think this game is absolutely fantastic.
It's a
guys.
phenomenal game.
mean, I don't say that lightly. This game is fantastic, dude. I mean, we had to get through a little bit of the learning process in the beginning, but man, once we got through that, if this isn't some of the most fun that I have had playing an indie game, I don't know what is, dude. Like, honestly, this game surprised the heck out of me, dude.
I mean,
Ryan?
we were pulling in people left and right to join us. We were having so much fun. We were like, you've got to try this game.
Yeah. Ryan, what's your thoughts on this, man? Like, I mean, your overall impression of Abyssus, like, because I don't want to save it for the very end of the show. Like, people need to know,
Yeah, no, it's man, this is one of those games, like when I was introduced to these roguelikes, like I was with Risk of Rain 2 with you guys and stuff, and again, that's third person, but the ability to make the different builds and the different stacks that you can do to make every encounter and every run you do different and more powerful, or you're trying to build this thing every time. You're like, oh man, I need this, I need that. So it's almost like this strategic chess game that you play as you're playing the game, which I absolutely loved. It's like, okay, I need to get this, I need to get that. Oh, now I have this and my teammate has that. So I can pair this with him and we're going to wreck. And like, I know me and Ace, and you were working, Josh, but me, Ace, and Jiggle, like we went and we all had gold, like to the max and everything. We were just getting gold statues everywhere. And they're like, boom, 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 bouncing all over the place. So I think it's such a cool mechanic and design that they have set up to where as you progress through this game, you have complementing abilities and complementing things that are random. It is random, but when you have that stack, you have that setup that complements each other, it makes for just an amazing time and an awesome experience, and you just have so much fun. And some of the levels are tough, some of them are hard, but if you build it right, you can make it easy and then just laugh at the enemies. And then other times, the next run, they're destroying you. So it's really, really unique how you can build in this game and get yourself to an optimum level, or you just don't quite make it. So I thought it was an amazing game, and I had so much fun, especially for a $20 indie, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ace, tell the people what you think on this one.
Oh, dude. Abyssus might be one of the best indies that's come out this year, and that's saying something.
I don't disagree with you, dude. Like, and before people go like, okay, this is like clickbait, you know, like this is not like Expedition 33 level, but
no. But
it is one of the best indies that I have played this year, like hands down, dude. Like that is not an exaggeration. That is not lip service. You know, like that is absolutely true. It is one of the best indies I've played this year.
Like, it was fun solo. It was fun with friends. Its scaling is actually incredible when you start going into the higher depths, because things get way harder, but also things that were viable in the lower depths are no longer viable in the high depths. Because I'll just give an example. Me and Jiggle played to depth 30, which is one of the highest you can go. One of the requirements for that was to have on the debuff that we lose 10 gold whenever we took a hit, making gold the most overpowered blessing in the game right now, a very unviable option for runs.
Yeah.
So we had to think on the fly and swap over what blessings we were going for, because we were losing gold so much. I would enter a room with like 400 gold. I would take 3 or 4 hits and be like, oh no.
Yeah. Just starts beating you down. Oh, that's crazy.
There's so many like hidden mechanics and hidden things in the levels too. Like, I equated it to Remnant, how you find your guns in the levels by completing puzzles or by, you know, doing secret activities, like the disc launcher.
Time challenges. Yeah, I mean, this game rewards you for playing certain ways, doing certain things, exploring a little bit, interacting with certain things. You know, it absolutely does reward your time and your subsequent runs through this game.
It's a very clever game. And I will say this now, I'm not hiding it. I 100%ed this game.
I know. I told people earlier.
This game,
I wasn't joking.
This game is not easy.
Yeah.
I was so in love with this game. I just burned so much time into it to 100% it just to say I could. And I do not regret it at all. It is amazing.
Yeah. All right. So one of the things that I want to touch on, just so that people can understand, is one of the things to me that makes this game, and you guys both touched on this, that makes this game so awesome is every run feels unique. And this is the turnaround for me, because our first 6, 7, 8 runs felt exactly the same to me because we kept just dying on the first boss, right? And then I'm like, guys, and I said, I don't know if this game has enough variety for me, man.
I remember you saying that,
You know, but here is the thing. The variety in the gameplay in this game is spectacular, dude. And it all comes about from the different builds that you can try to do. Now, the way that this works is you play through like a room. We'll call it a level or a room. You kill all the enemies, or you stand on these pressure plates. You have objectives that you need to do. Go stand in these circles or whatever, right?
The plates. Oh, the plates.
The plates.
I know. So, but, you know, kill everything in the room, beat the objective in the room, and then you get to move on to the next one. Now, occasionally you'll come across a blessing altar, and these altars, when you interact with them, are what allow you to pick like an element, basically. Okay. And so there are a variety of elements in this game. I think there's like 8 of them, if I had to just take a quick guess.
I believe there's 8.
You've got like blood, lightning, spirit, shadow, fire, frost,
barrier,
abyss, tentacles,
tentacles, and
burst,
barrier, I believe.
and the barrier. So there's probably like close to 10.
Yeah.
And so you get these things, but then you get the choice of what you put them on. And what that means is every weapon has 2 fire modes. Okay, so you can put it on your primary fire, your secondary fire, and you have an ability. So you can say, hey, I just got this blessing altar. It's giving me 2 choices. Do I want fire or frost? And you say, okay, well, I want frost. And then it'll go, do you want to put it on your primary fire, your secondary fire, or your ability? And this choice matters, which I love. This choice absolutely matters because of the different fire modes that the weapons and the abilities that you have. So you place it on there, and then the game will not let you override it after that. So once you put fire on your primary fire,
locked in.
You can't just go back and say, you know what, I think I want to put frost on there now. The game goes, nope, you don't get to do that. So you kind of lock into this path. But what you do get to do is then say, well, now I have a barrier that I want to put on my secondary fire. So now you're starting this like weird fire barrier build that winds up playing in a very, very unique way. And this build, as it progresses, becomes this like really insane, just fun to play, unique experience for that run. And then every run is like that, where it's like, okay, well, now I've got a gold burst primary fire ability with a frost secondary ability. And so I'll freeze things, and then I'll hit them with my primary fire, which triggers the gold burst and turns them into solid gold statues. Yeah. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. Like that is literally the tip of the iceberg, because not only do you get these, but you get about 15 levels of upgrades to every single one of these blessings.
It's
insane. And they
insane.
all do different things. And it's like, this is why I started to just absolutely love this game, dude, because every single run felt like a unique, completely different play style of a run. So much so that it was like, if you have fire on your primary and frost on your secondary, but then you swap them and you go frost on your primary, fire on your secondary, like the next run, even though they're the same elements, it's like, it feels like a completely different build at that point. Like I absolutely loved the depth that this game went into with how you can play this game and the different builds that you can experience and the different upgrades and all that.
Dude, it was
like,
incredible. I love the builds.
Progression.
Yeah, I know, progression in
but
a
you
roguelike,
guys know,
finally.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
You know, and just, it's not only progression, because there is a progression system in this game where you get to kind of unlock perks through the soul fragments that you get just from playing the game. But you know, it is that progression, but it's like even without the actual permanent progression, the ability
variety.
to just do these different runs with these different elements is what absolutely knocked it out of the park for me, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like, you know, you have these skill sets and you have what you want, and then you end up not getting that, but you're able to build something cool and unique, and then you still have an awesome time. So like every time you make this run, it's different, but it's still enjoyable, which is what's I think is really cool about this game. I think that no matter what you're looking for or you're trying to do, whatever you get, as long as you're playing accordingly, like it's gonna be a good time. Like, and that's what games are supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to have fun, you know, at the end of the day.
The crazy part is, to give an example of the amount of content that is in this game, that's just the blessings.
Yeah.
Like, how many weapons are there in this game, Ace?
I believe there's 8 weapons.
Like 8, like 7, 8 weapons, something like
But
that, with
those
with
8
different
weapons,
fire modes.
Yeah, those 8 weapons have different fire modes. They each have different mods, which change how the weapons function
Unlockable
completely.
mods.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you have your abilities that you can swap in and out on the fly that are crazy. Like, you go from a grenade at the start to a turret to maybe you want to put down a giant force field that has the effect of your blessing in a giant AoE radius.
Yep. Yeah, or a giant anchor that you can just melee the heck out of things
love the
with
anchor,
and just
man.
smash it into the ground with a shockwave. And this is the thing, right? Like, so you've got 10 different elements with a like I'll say just 15 tiers of upgrades to these that you pick from. And this works like Hades for anybody that's played Hades, where it's like, hey, you get to this altar, pick one of these two things. Boom. Okay.
Stack
and then
them
it's
up.
like you get to another one, pick one of these two things. Okay. Well, now once you have your primary, your secondary, and your ability locked into an element, now it starts giving you the upgrades to these. So it's like, well, which of these two upgrades do you want? You know? And then you start looping in 8 different weapons with different fire modes, with different mods that, like you said, completely change the feel of this weapon.
Yep.
Now you have these soul fragments in this perk tree that you can get these permanent upgrades on. And it's like, sure, it might be more health or an extra heal, but some of them are game changing, where like you unlock a forge that might show up in a run.
I love the forge, dude.
The forge is my favorite thing
I
in
love
this game.
the forge.
Dude, because you don't unlock this until you're probably a good 6 hours into this game. Now you unlock this forge that when you interact with it, and it's random whether it shows up or not, but if you get it, it says, do you want to upgrade your ability or your weapon? And boy, do these upgrades really change the way that this run happens.
Infinite turrets. Infinite turrets forever.
But all that to say, because we could sit here and talk about Abyssus for an hour, right? But all that to say that what the game excels at, and I said this in the intro, right? Like you got to have something, right? I don't know that Abyssus has a hook, but it does everything so well, and it knows what a roguelike game needs to be to keep you interested in playing. And I'll tell people, just in case they're like me, the first few hours does not show that off. But man, when you break through that wall, you smash through that wall and it opens up like I've never seen, dude. Like, honestly, man. And to me, that was the best part about this, is just the fact that it's like there is so much variety to how every single run plays out. It reminds me of Risk of Rain 2.
Yeah.
And honestly, that is one of the highest compliments that we can give a roguelike game, because every run in Risk of Rain 2 felt vastly different based on what you wound up getting as your upgrades in that. And Abyssus does this in spades, man. It lets you break it. And I love that. I love that so much.
I felt like it was more. Dude, I felt like it was more. Like I loved Risk of Rain 2. And I loved playing with you guys, but I always, I played the chick with the
the Huntress.
Yeah,
Huntress.
Yeah,
I played Huntress. That was the one I always made. And while you could get different builds and different setups, it always kind of similarly, you had the same some of the stuff, but you could get different perks that made it better. This felt like so different on every run. It was like extremely unique. Like every single time you loaded in, you had the same gun, but that was about it. Like, whatever you had, like you had it there, but then everything else was different. So I think they did such a good job on making the ability to make those runs unique and make them different and make them play out a way that you never expected. It was such an absolute blast, and every run we had was memorable, and that's what you want in a game. Like you want to have fun. You want to go in there and have a good time, and that's what this game did.
Oh, there was a run where me, Josh, and Jiggle were playing, and me and Josh entered the boss room first, and Josh killed the boss before it spawned.
Dude,
so Jiggle didn't get credit for the kill.
If you were going to make a roguelike game where you have crazy, fantastic abilities like this, and then you kind of limit them to where it's like, well, you can have some fun, but you can't have too much fun.
Yeah.
You're holding your own game back.
I want all the fun.
But Abyssus just goes, you want all the fun? Like, here you go.
Here's the developer tools.
If you get lucky enough to get a good build, like a crazy build, you will break this game, and it is the most glorious thing ever, and we got to experience that. And the three of us were absolutely just cracking up because this build was broken, dude. And we were killing things so quickly that a boss fight, the boss started to spawn in and died before he could finish spawning in. And Jiggle did not get the credit for it because he was going to get like an achievement or I forget, like some kind of reward. And then after the run, he's like, oh man. And we're like, what? And he's like, I didn't get credit for that boss because you guys killed it so fast. It was just, but this is what you want from this kind of experience. This is not talking because we're running low on time here, but the level design in this game is incredible. There's, I think, 5 or 6 different levels not counting like the final level.
Yeah.
They're each very unique, very well done. They have different like designs. They have different monsters, so the monster variety is
Stupid
absolutely
frogs.
perfect in my opinion. Yeah,
Hate the
stupid
frogs.
frogs.
Always hated frogs.
Music is great. Visuals are great. The last level, in my opinion, is one of the coolest looking levels that I've seen in a game in a while, dude.
Yeah.
Kudos to the art team on Abyssus because y'all knocked it out of the park, man. I remember Ace and I, the very first time we got there, we just kind of stood
there.
looking around.
We just stood there, man. We were just like,
yeah,
it was beautiful.
I
And
mean,
that's not to mention the final bosses, final stage.
yes, that's what I was going to bring up next. So talk about the different boss fights a little bit, Ace.
Oh, dude. Well, this is something I really admire about Abyssus. The first boss you fight, he jumps around and leaves like shockwaves on the ground that you have to jump over in order to damage him. One of the bigger enemies you encounter in the rooms up to this boss jumps at you and leaves shockwaves on the ground to teach you this mechanic of how you need to be able to jump over the shockwaves and damage the boss at the same time.
Yep.
And I thought that was freaking cool. But then you go from, a golem who jumps around an arena leaving shockwaves and lasers everywhere to a water deity who wants to push you off of his platform into poisoned waters instead of fighting you directly, to a Aztec god of death that is slinging mystic crystals at you and then sends you through a platforming section halfway through the boss fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Twice. And
Yeah.
I love that. That was such a cool, twist where we got there, we get it half health, and he's like, no, get out of here.
Go do this.
Go do this instead while I heal.
It was such a cool variety in these levels too. Like, yeah, with that on the boss fights, and it's fantastical, beautiful worlds where you're looking down. Ace is like, look down at the black spot, and it's just like a nebula and stars and space and stuff. And
that texture is crazy.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's very unique. It's very different, and the way it's all set up, it just plays so well to just a good time. It is absolutely. You don't have a bad time at it. And even when you lose, or if you lose, you're like, dang, man, I want to do that again. Let's see if we can get a better build and try to go back. That's the sign of a good game. That's the mark of something that is of quality, is when after you lose and you don't meet your goal, you want to try again. And that's what this game does in spades.
Yeah. I love, you guys know I love a good boss fight. The boss fight mechanics in this game are really well done. You get a mini boss halfway through each stage that you get to fight that they're unique in and of themselves. And then you have the final boss for that stage. I mean, this is it's an all around incredibly well done game. I will say this too. I just checked my hours. I have 17.6 hours in Abyssus. I will gladly do a few more runs on this game if somebody wanted to join in and do it. I will say this. I'm approaching the end of my time with Abyssus because I feel like I've experienced most of the content on this. I've had an incredible amount of fun with the variety of builds. I've gotten all the weapons and the upgrades and things like that. At this point, the progression has kind of slowed down for me. This is not a slander against the game at all. My point in this is that this game is $24.99. I got 18 hours worth of sheer joy out of this game with friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good, dude. Yeah. What more can a gamer ask for? This isn't a live service game that needs to try to continue on for 50 hours, man. You nailed it, Abyssus. You absolutely nailed it. You gave me 18 hours of fun with my friends in a extremely well done video game for $24.99, man. Yeah. This is what we want as gamers. What more can you ask for?
And they're going to add more content for free.
I know they will, but I'm just saying it's already great, man.
They already said, we're going to add more bosses, more levels, more guns. It's like, wait, okay, slow down, guys. You already gave us a great game. Give yourselves a rest.
And we don't have to pay? Wait, what? It's like, remember in the early 2000s, they would send, hey, we got a new map. Keep playing our game, and you'd be like, okay, cool. Now it's, all the DLC stuff, but it's just, you said it, Josh. It's just one of those games where for $20-$25, you can go and have 15, 20, 25, 30 hours. A lot of people a lot different than you, could get probably 40, 50, 60 hours out of this game, like, and just have an absolute blast.
Ace is like, why you call me out, man?
Yeah.
I might have 40 hours.
Some
Abyssus.
people may 100% it because they're psychopaths, you know, like, who knows? But like, there's a lot there, and it's criminally underrated, I think. Like,
Nobody's talking about this game.
I don't know why anybody isn't talking about this. I know there's a lot going on in the kind of gaming sphere this year. We are very blessed with all that we have, but man, this is one that if you got 20 shekels, go throw it at this game, and it is a good time. You will have fun no matter what.
Yeah, if you're one of the people complaining that this game is too expensive and doesn't have enough content, what are you on? Because this game has so much content.
People that have been listening to us for a long time now know, like, we are critical of games. If we don't like a game, we absolutely will say, hey, I didn't like this game. This didn't work for me. These are the aspects that I didn't enjoy, or something like that. When we collectively say there is something special about this game, I'm not saying that we're always right by any means, but when the three of us who have very different gaming tastes all kind of say, yo, there's something special
for us
here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, there's something special here. You should at least pay attention, at that point. And what we're saying, and the reason that we went from the indie episode to wanting to talk about this on the main show is because we want to put this game in front of people. As gamers, we're not getting paid to say this. You know what I mean? Like, this is just simply the joy of gaming. And, Ace, I know, like you said, because it is a co-op shooter, but you played a lot of this solo. The game does scale, so it's just, I won't say it's just as fun, because let's be honest, with friends is always
it's better with
opinion.
Friends, and also being able to put it at more depths to make it harder.
But it's plenty playable as a solo player. Like, if you're a solo player, don't let that hold you back in this case, because this game is still an incredibly good time. And so we're trying to let people know, you out there as gamers, there is something special about Abyssus. This is an indie developer, but man, if they didn't get this game right, take a look at it. Look at the gameplay, watch the trailer. If you think it looks fun, I am telling you, Ace is telling you, Ryan is telling you that it is way, way better than it looks on video. Pick this game up and play it. Guys, let's rate it. Because, we've been talking about it. I know it's hard, but that's why we do this, man. We don't shy away from a challenge. All right, Ace, I'm going to start with you. You found it. You pushed us to play it. Number one, thank you, because I'm actually really glad that we got to play Abyssus.
I'm glad we got to discover this one and play it together.
Dude.
I honestly am. We had such a good time with it. We got to introduce some of our other close personal friends to Abyssus, and they really enjoyed it too. Abyssus is what I want out of a roguelike. It is everything I want out of a roguelike.
Yeah.
That being said, it's not perfect. There are definitely some issues, like having to start at the same place every time. That gets a little old. I know
they did talk about that.
But they
actually said we're going to randomize the starting level, which I think is a fantastic idea.
Yep.
I'm going to give Abyssus a 9.8 because
9.8.
I will come back to Abyssus when they add more content to 100% it again.
You did say this is one of your favorite indies that you have played in a very long time.
Dude, this one...
That's a big score.
What I look for when I'm picking out these indies is something with heart. Something that someone clearly cared about when they put it out in the world. They didn't just come up with an idea and like, okay, we'll make money off this.
Yeah.
When I saw Abyssus and I put it into that indie news episode, I already knew that it had something special. Because one of the trailers is like a job training program on how to use the different guns. Like, that's so silly and fun. Abyssus is just great, dude. If you're not playing Abyssus right now, we're in a lull. You should play it.
Yeah, you should play it. So 9 wow, that's huge praise.
I'm giving it, dude.
That's a big
score. All right, Ryan, what about you, man?
This one, I'm definitely not that high, but I did absolutely love this game. I don't recall an experience I had or a run I had that I was just like, that was lame. I don't want to play anymore. Like, when you get frustrated and you're like, I'm done for the night. No, every run I finished, I wanted to do another one. And it was like, whether or not it was midnight or 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning, I'm like, I should probably go to bed. So like the draw was there. The graphics were amazing. The gameplay was awesome. I think the gun stuff, all the unique abilities, the effects, everything was what it needs to be, especially for a unique roguelike like this is. the goofy stuff like the sea shanties and the stuff we can do where we can dance like that. We would every time we would just all dance and sea shanty together, and like those do as small as and clap and
Oh gosh,
clap and do other things. We're not gonna get into
we
that.
had a lot of
PG
laughter
show.
in this
Yeah,
game.
PG
Yeah.
show. It's all amazing. So this one, I'm gonna give this an 8.8.
Oh,
I
you
think
stole my rating, Ryan.
It is way up there. There's some things that could be tightened up and be a little bit better if it wanted to get into the 9s. But for a roguelike, especially an indie roguelike like this is a monster game. I think everybody should check it out. It is absolutely fantastic, and I loved it, dude. It was so good.
Yeah. Well, Ryan stole my rating. I was going to give it an 8.8 as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that is absolutely like right on the nose, you know.
Yeah,
That's fair, I guess.
Ace, you said it. This is what I want a roguelike to be. I want
Yeah.
crazy builds. I want different builds to completely change the way that the game feels to me so that I don't feel like I'm playing something that's overly repetitive, you know? And this game absolutely nailed that. I love the fact that I could get crazy with these builds. The game felt like a completely different game based on that. I like what it did is it checked every box in my brain as I went through this list. And I went, okay, well, what about crazy builds? And it was like, bing, check mark. And then I was like, yeah, okay, but what about like boss fights? And then it was like, bing, check mark. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, but you guys are probably going to have like really sucky enemy variety then. And it was like, bing, good enemy variety. And
I
I'm
bet
like,
you
all
don't
right,
have
well,
a
what about,
gun
like,
that's actually a fish god.
yeah, you know, like, I mean, but legitimately, and it just like, so it's weird because like every time my brain went, yeah, but I bet it doesn't have this, it literally went, oh yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
And then even like humor, dude, like at one point, like my tiny, teeniest of spoilers, but like there's a merchant in the game that you can find in a run. And we go, I wonder what happens if I shoot this merchant. And then the merchant turns you to gold and punishes you. And then we were like, but that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted as a gamer. You know what I mean? Is to just have something happen. So it checked every single box that my brain could throw at this game. I was insanely surprised by how much fun this game was. I picked this game up. Support these devs. The devs are Double Moose Games. They deserve it. I mean, like I said, they deserve it. Not only do they deserve it, but you are going to have a lot of fun as a gamer playing this game. Find some friends to play with to make the experience even better. Come join our Discord server. We'll play with you because we love playing games with people. So, you know, you will like just check this one out. It deserves it. Our goal, especially with indie devs, is to say, hey, this is a game that people should know about. You all know about it at this point. We've done our job. It's fun, man. I mean, it's fun. It's affordable. It's very well done. It's not very buggy. I had a bug with one of my builds, but I think they already fixed that. So kudos to Double Moose Games on this one for making a really, really good video game.
And
man.
I think we've gone longer on this than we did with Red Dead 2.
Dang it. All right. Yeah, we got to wrap this up.
So I'm a little offended, but also it was a good game.
It's fun to find these games, man. So kudos to Ace too.
Yeah.
Ace, thank you for putting this in front of Ryan and I, because we got to have a heck of a lot of enjoyment out of it as well. All right, we better wrap this one up, boys. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us, talking Abyssus, having fun. Just, you know, this is why we love being gamers, man. You know, you find these games you didn't know existed, you have fun with them. It's the perfect length for me, honestly, for my kind of gamer ADD brain. Like, I'm close to done with this, but I got way, way more enjoyment out of this than I thought as well. Make sure you join our Discord server. If you are not a part of it, you are missing out on incredible gaming chat, game recommendations, life, people talking life, sharing their hobbies. We've got Warhammer. Shout out to Moose with his incredible Warhammer 40K figurines he's posting. We got T-Foles with his photography of these bands that he's going to that is freaking awesome. It's just, listen, it is an awesome community. We have 1,100 gamers in there, so this is not this awkward, tiny little Discord that you're kind of scared to check out. There is no toxicity at all. There is no opinion shaming. It is just gamers being awesome to each other. So if that sounds good to you, we want you to be a part of it as well. If you want to support the show like Bobby S., Milk Dud, and Please Don't Look at Me did, you can sign up on Patreon. There's a link in the episode description for that also. And finally, don't forget to leave us a review. you know, we if you leave a written review on Apple, good chance we're gonna read it.
And I'll
Rate us
read it
5
wrong.
stars on Spotify. And that's it for this one. We probably need a respite, guys. It's been a long episode, so we're out, everybody. Until next time, happy gaming.
See ya.
Catch you later, Brian Hunters. Peace out.